the English meaning of the Sumerian A-šip-u, the title for the Anunnaki Exorcist. The components are A, ship, and U. Understanding these elements will enable us to derive a meaning. I will display the text at the end of the video, along with the names I render. Let us begin. A, E4, water, watercourse, canal, seminal fluid, offspring, father, tears, flood. Shib or ship, meaning exorcism. Interestingly enough, Noah was told by God to build a ship. One-tenth, a tiff, were permitted aboard the ark by Mestama, the father of good and evil, an angel. After the ship finds land, the demons plant the vineyards, leading to the drunkenness of Noah. Nakedness meaning not knowing, which is a little bit odd when we are speaking of water Noah. But I remind you, water Noah is the child of Enlil. Ni na zu. So there we have the flood and the ship, alternatively the father of exorcism. The letter U. I've just reminded you of the vineyard. According to the Hebrew Midrash, the demon planted the vineyard. The letter U. Plant, vegetable, grass, food, bread, pasture, load, to nourish, support, strong, powerful man. So there we have Enoch, a powerful man who supports God, the God who planted the vineyards, the grasses, the food, the man angel who exorcised Azazel from heaven. You can also mean sleep, and in Sumerian myth, Enki, Aya, the father of tears, warned Utnapishtim of a coming flood, speaking through the reeds of the underworld, referring to the clay tablet. The name is very similar to Imdu Good. The name is telling us a story. A story can be derived from the name. But of course, there is more. U, 3, 4, and 8. So that would be Father of Tears plus U, or a flood ship, or the flood of exorcism with U, an expression of protest, cries, screams. The grunting, panting of battle, fight, dispute, to bend over. Or U5, male bird, totality, earth pile or levee, raised area. The mound, to mount, in intercourse, to be on top of, to ride, to board, to steer, conduct. We are told it is a ship, an ark, but ship means exorcism. U18, huge, Gishgal. U20, barley. Wine and barley. Barley is used to make beer. Meaning of Anzu, Imdu Good, is the child of Sirius, the patron goddess of beer. The knowledge of making beer led to the knowledge of making wine. But which came first, the dragon or the egg? All of the elements for Noah's story are here. But here we find a reference to beer. This is divination. The Asipu is a druggist. I believe they were drinking psychedelic wine. So what names can I render from the title A-šip-u? The father of exorcism, a strong, powerful man. A powerful exorcism father. Or, the tears of exorcism are used to nourish and support. Or, the flood of exorcism causes slumber. According to the Anunnaki, the god Enki created the lamentation rites to appease Anzu. We are told, the flood of exorcism causes slumber. The flood myth is a lamentation rite. The father of exorcism would be more appropriate, but these guys are directly working with demons. Consequently, flood and tears are also appropriate. There are more names to come, but first, according to the information, the A-šip-u appear to be causing a flood of another kind. What I mean is a psychological effect upon the people. At some point in Sumerian culture, witchcraft, pharmakia, was merged with medical practice. The demons of Babylon were allocated to every illness or cataclysm in the culture. This in turn created the need for exorcism in the home. Who you gonna call? Not the Asipu, that's for sure. They are the sage, the fear-mongerers of the Ekur, the house of Enlil, the Sumerian garden of the gods, equal to Mount Olympus. The Asipu, the bankers, are setting up trade. In 2900 BC, somehow they infiltrated or created the Sumerian kingship, a claim for the throne of God. They altered the original belief and took their seat behind the throne of glory, which led to the revolution, leading to the demise of the Sumerian culture. In the Ekur, they believe they are deities in the flesh, while actively working with whatever demons are. En became one of their titles. Mamu is En in the Emissal language, but the meaning is flee or infect. Maybe, just maybe, they were infected by the spirits they worked with. Anzu, Mamu, im do good, im not do good, is a monstrous demon. The Asipu employed the Apkallu and their monstrous alter egos for the exorcism rituals. The demons are the monster alter egos of the Anunnaki. The Anunnaki are the deception, and the twist to the tale is that the Anunnaki are the alter egos of demons. The monstrous figures were created by the Asipu, allegedly to expel the foot of evil, while decorating the person's house with magical incantations and demonic statues, filling the air with clay, a form of silicosis affecting the lungs, eating from clay bowls, allowing heavy metals to enter the body. The fact that the Apkallu statue is found in the foundation stone implies that this was a plan in preparation for the exorcism rituals. The same can be said for the myth of Enkidu, the creature of Enki. The death of Enkidu creates lamentation rites and kickstarts the funeral service, which can also be understood as worshipping death. Negativity. The original belief was reincarnation, where of course there is no need for tears. We reincarnate, meaning nobody has been lost. They will be born again. The Asipu can also mean the father of exorcism, the father of exorcism protests, cries and screams, or the cries and screams, the protest of exorcism, or to support exorcism for the father, the flood of tears. Within the two variants of you, we have fighting and cock. This refers to the fighting cock, an epithet of Nergal, the lion-faced burner. Here the lion is referred to as a bird. So I could render the lion bird, father of exorcism. There is also the meaning to mount, to ride, which could be the reference to the lion over the prostrate man, or Ishtar Inanna riding the seven-headed beast, depicting domination over man. This can also refer to riding the dragon's back, or being supported by an angel, the wolf angel, the symbol for which would be a rune in the form of the letter Z with a line through it. The next element would be mound, the mound of the exorcism father. Remember from the title Imdu Good, I can render. The nest of the illustrious god is in the clay, or the nest of the illustrious god is the clay tablets. The A-šip-u is not the father. They are working with the father, the Adughull, who are an ambiguous class of demons, and the difference between them cannot be told.
That is correct.
How do you know they didn't lie to you?
The king of the legion, the Adughull. This must be the source for the divine inspiration. Anzu, Imdu Good, is the lion-faced demon. The meaning of Anzu is divine storm bird, another reference to the flood and the oracle, and all divinities fall from it. I believe, due to extensive research, that the pantheon which is ultimately a product of the Empire, was formed and written by these people, and in a similar fashion to the Apkallu and their monstrous alter egos. What we have is a pantheon formed by taking all of the regional goddesses, by giving them a husband. They house them in another narrative. The pantheon is then given to the people. Methods for worship and offerings that can only have originated in Babylonian demonology. I'm quite sure this is the beginning of duality in mythology. Zu stole the role of Bel. Bel became Mul-Lil, and a female version of himself, Mul-Mi-Sera. These two gods became Enlil and Enki. From this we see a transition, filtering out the mother goddess. But in this instance, he is the mother goddess, yet not the mother goddess. And that would be the figure that is being demonized. In the same way Tiawath was merged with Abzu, it is Tiamat that is being demonized, or similar to Inanna, who became Ishtar, who is merged with Utu. Therefore, logically, the latter is being demonized. If you have seen the story of Maleficent, this would be that story, which would also be the story for Anu and Anat, Tiawath and Abzu, Ishtar and Utu, Odin and Gulveig, Dagon and Mu, Shiva and Kali, Mary and the Angel of the Lord. The whole pantheon has been created in a fashion where the mother goddess and the father have been woven together. I do wonder what symbol that could form. Gina Konstantinopoulos notes that the Udug is defined by what it is not. The demon is nameless and formless, even in its early appearances. The incantation comes from the Old Babylonian period, 1800 to 1500 BC. The incantation defines the Udug as the one who, from the beginning, was not called by name, the one who never appeared with a form. There we have a direct connection to Mumu, Anzu, Imdu-good. Imdu-good meaning to be defined.